victims from the Malaysian airliner shot down over Ukraine arrived back in the Netherlands today. Life in the grieving nation largely came to a halt as the day's somber events played out. Jonathan Rugman of Independent Television News has our report.
At Eindhoven Military Airport this afternoon, 2 aircraft, one Dutch and one Australian, ferried the first of MH17's passengers and crew back to the country which lost the most. 193 of the 298 were Dutch, 32 Australian, and 10 from the UK. 40 hearses for 40 coffins. And before they were taken away for forensic investigation, the Dutch gave the bodies a hero's welcome with the sounding of the last post. The country's new king, Willem-Alexander, and Queen Maxima led a day of national mourning. The ceremony here, meticulous in bright sunshine, and performed in front of about 1,000 relatives of the dead. And what was most striking, the determination to give them a dignity in death that they never received in the fields of eastern Ukraine. At the crash site itself, separatist rebels gave access to officials from the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe, but not to Dutch investigators, who said their safety was not guaranteed.
Putin
the
is
plane's flight
criminal.
records have been taken to the UK for an examination which could take weeks. But 6 days on, there has been no professional investigation permitted here. On Monday, the UK said it had imposed an absolute arms embargo on Russia. But today it emerged that more than 200 export licenses, including for missile launching equipment, are still in place.
We have an arms embargo in place. We set out the terms of it, and we need to make sure that everything that's happened since is consistent with the terms of that embargo. I believe that's the case, but we'll want to go through each one of these individually to very much make sure that is the case, and if it isn't, of course, we'll act very swiftly.
with what?
And amid disagreement among world
Find your
leaders
energy
as to how
somewhere
to
else.
respond, pro-Russian separatists are continuing to shoot down aircraft. Today it was 2 Ukrainian military jets. This just 25 miles from the MH17 site. The Ukrainians claiming the rockets were fired from Russia itself.
Cut them off completely. Do not be dependent on anything from Russia.
Europe, though, the pealing of bells,
Do it.
and then a minute's silence. Not a corner of the Netherlands has been untouched by this disaster. And the scenes this evening have been unprecedented. Many thousands lining the streets to watch the hearses pass by. The first bodies from 11 nations in all, though none of them have yet been identified.
I love my country.
Yet all of them honoured here by the country which less than 1 fateful week ago had sent them on their way.
European monitors said today there are body parts still at the site in eastern Ukraine where the plane was shot down. And Australia's Prime Minister warned it is increasingly likely that some of the remains will never be recovered.
And in other news today, in Taiwan,
That's
a
it.
Trans-Asia
Thank you.
Airways plane